I was on tour in 2010, and then I received an email via via my website about a young boy called Taylor who was unfortunately terminally ill and had been asked to draw up his bucket list. The email came from his mum, and it was just one of those things that struck me as an almost unbelievable situation to sit with your son. I had a son of a similar age, and to say now you've got to do a bucket list because you haven't got long left. And part of his bucket list was to meet me. Um, and we arranged to meet in Nottingham where I was doing a gig. I met his mum Susie and the rest of the family. And it was just immediate when I met him what kind of a bubbly person that he was, and how he was approaching what was coming ahead. I think because of the personal contact, and because I knew the reason behind it, and I knew the result of it. I knew what Susie was trying to achieve with the charity, and I knew what was motivating her. It was very difficult as a parent to say no. And I think being a patron of something that is if you like, a smaller charity, but can have a big effect, is possibly more rewarding because it can have an impact. If you can all, I've been associated with, and I'm a patron of much bigger organisations and much bigger charities, but you're kind of in a mash then, and you're involved obviously, but not to the extent that what I see Taylor Made Dreams as is the opportunity to make one kid's life just that little bit better for one day. I hope it becomes everything that Susie would like it to do, as well as everything that um, all of the people behind it wanted to achieve. To me, from what I do, it's very easy to be a face of something, and I walk away. I'm not involved in it on a day-to-day basis. I get involved where I can. But what I see of it and what I feel is behind it is that motivation to provide those moments that you see on the boards behind me, that Taylor had, those little seconds in time that add up to a lifetime of memories. And I think that's what its motivation is. And I think for me, if I can be a small part in allowing it to achieve that, because I think it can make a difference. It's operating in a gap that isn't really fulfilled by other charities at the moment, and I think it can make that difference. And so when you say what would I like it to achieve, if it gives somebody else, if it gives somebody else memories like that, gives somebody else something to look at afterwards, if it gives somebody else a reason to look forward to something when they're at the lowest part of their life, I think it's achieved all it set out to do just by doing that for one person. Like any charity, you can support it financially. Supporting a charity financially by doing it on a one-off thing that happens with things like Comet Relief, where there's a lot of money flows in over one day and distributed throughout a period of time. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is like with, you see with a lot of charities, just by giving a small donation every month just means that you've done your little bit. So they're obvious ways of doing it financially. I think the other way of doing it is by making yourself available. There's a lot of organisations, there's a lot of companies, as well as a lot of individuals, and not necessarily famous people, who can provide an opportunity. There are people who will, I don't know, own a Porsche and can give a kid a go on a Porsche. There are people who might have a balloon who can give somebody a ride in a balloon. There are organisations who can facilitate people living a dream. And I think those people, if they can be in touch and say, look, you may not need us now, but there might be a kid who wanted one day to, I don't know, drive a combine harvester. Well, guess what? If that ever happens, I've got one. That's what I think we need, is those resources of having people that we can go to when somebody does ask for that as part of their dreams. And, obviously we wouldn't be going all the time, but if the option is there, that would be great, because not everyone's dream is the same. Some people just, like tonight I'm doing a show in an arena. Some people just want to stand backstage. That's their dream. Well, they're easy things to achieve, and a lot of people cannot offer that. So I think you can offer support financially, you can offer support by offering the facilities, and you can offer the support by offering the support, by doing things that give a charity numerical advantages. So support the Facebook page, support the Twitter page, because that means the voice is getting spread to more and more people. And that means that when you go to charity commissions or you go for grants, you can go, look, this is a well-supported charity because we've got X number of thousand following us on Facebook. And that matters.